my gosh.
That's a big old fish, man.
Yeah, it is.
See you, Jan. We'll bring everybody back in the truck this time. Okay. All right, thanks. Some rain. That's what I'm hoping. I think it's 2000.
This is the panorama that Marshall and I had been waiting to see for over 2 years. Our last trip down in 2012 was an adventure to say the least, and we were longing to see what 2014 had in store for us. Countless storms in the past few months provided some very unique sights for central Baja in the month of October. Upon arriving to our first beach of the trip, we were delighted to see that making bait would not require a tremendous amount of effort. In fact, merely bending over would be the only exercise needed in order to fulfill our bait requirements. It did not take very long before Marshall hooked into our target species, the Spot Fin Croaker.
Oh, Kurt, that can't be right.
28.
That's 28, Kurt.
28 inches. Holy crap. Mother Nature would end up only teasing us with a sliver of sunshine for the entire day. And seeing as how this would not be a dry session, we reveled in every second of warmth it provided.
But on a joyful note, we were provided with some excellent spot fin croaker fishing on this, our first day on the beach. Once again, we opted for the light tackle approach. Marshall hooked this very respectable spot fin on 6-pound test.
Oh, I don't know, man. Here. Good push.
I was just amazed at how burly these spot fin were, and the amount of pulling power and stamina they had. We ended up our first day with 9 of these trophies, not to mention a spattering of some stout Corbina. A couple of days later, we decided to head south to Asuncion. The remnants of the storms were very apparent. I could just imagine the amount of water that was running next to this road just outside of Vizcaíno. This is always one of my favorite stretches of the highway. Two years ago, our trip went sideways in Asuncion. Entering town, we wondered just what was in store for us this year. Our first order of business was to visit the scene of our calamity that occurred in November of 2012.
I think this is where we came and parked.
Very well could have been.
Yeah, this is where we came up, Marshall. This is where we towed that son of a gun up.
Be careful up here.
Surveying north, we spotted the exact point where the truck got stuck. It was an eerie feeling, to say the least. We drove up the bluff to revisit the view that we had just 2 years ago. After a short eulogy, we set off south in the search of fish.
Wow, look at this water.
Before I could even get to the beach, Marshall had landed a spot fin.
You gotta be kidding me!
We fished for about an hour and caught a few assorted species, including this cute little guy. Then I got that feeling you get when you think you're being watched, and as I turned around, there was 2 men sitting in a truck. What are the odds? The gentleman on the right was the guy that towed my truck off the beach 2 years ago.
Muy bien. Oh! Woo! He's a good-looking guy, huh?
So it looked like we were once again going to be treated to a heaping plate full of hospitality, tecates, and a bunch of big old fat lobsters. But first, we had to keep pace with a guy who had been driving these roads for decades.
Catch up to him. Casa es muy bonito. Yeah, sí. Sí. And mi amigo. Yeah.
Well, oh my gosh.
A new truck meant a new manual.
And try slowing down or accelerating to allow the system to engage.
Okay.
If the forward indicator continues to blink and the buzzer sounds, stop the vehicle, reduce the engine speed to under 60.
But nothing in the manual could help even out these washboard roads. This road even blurred my camera. We decided to make this mostly a sightseeing day, and that meant traveling south. Our first stop would be La Bocana for lunch. I was impressed with the roof construction at the restaurant. Hundreds of mullet were jumping in the estuary. Marshall started wading out to do a little fishing. I thought I was going to have to pick him up on the other side. Just south of the estuary, we were delighted to exit the washboard roads in favor of driving on the flats. Driving on the flats reminded me of the thirsty nomad chasing the sparkling water mirage, only to have it melt into thin air as he approached. It fooled us several times.
Alto.
But we chased down one mirage that wasn't a mirage at all.
So what do you think, Marshall? Make it across?
No bueno.
No, it's no problem. It's no problem. Check it out, see if we can do it. Go ahead and wade in there and see how deep it is.
I didn't really care how deep the water was. This truck was not going straight. What used to be dry flats was now thousands of acres of wetlands, thanks to all the recent storms. We finally made it to our southernmost destination, Abriojos. My first 4 casts on this beach produced 4 Corvina. I called Marshall over, and you guessed it, he killed the bite. Well, it wasn't supposed to be a fishing day anyway. The next morning, we headed back north in search of more spot fin and listened to this trip's audiobook.
At sea, 2 radio messages ran through the American fleet.
Well, here's something that you don't see much anymore. Actual customer service at a gas station. What I really needed was a full-service car wash. It was back to our hotel, and we would hit the beach early.
Hey.
So one of Marshall's not-so-bright ideas was to try to determine at just what distance a bull considers his personal space infringed upon.
He might charge you. Freaking size of those things. Uh-oh.
After that move, Bull 1, Marshall 0. I had a bad feeling about Marshall messing with that Baja bull, and just 20 minutes later, we paid the price.
Can you check the brakes while you're at it?
Right there, Marshall.
Luckily, 100 pesos and 2 six-packs of Ducati later, we were ready to get back to fishing.
There it is.
Even getting to our familiar beaches was made difficult by the recent rains.
We're screwed here.
After a few detours, we were back on the beach in search of more trophy spot fin. Once again, bait was easy pickings, and the spot fin wanted to play. It had to end sometime, and Marshall plays the last fish of the trip. Spot fin heaven on earth. That's what we found. We decided to take a detour on the way home and visit LA Bay. With a craving for more scenery and a need for gas, we approached the view of the bay for my first time, and what a beautiful sight it was.
Oh, 3 of them.
We spotted a small pack of coyotes cruising up a washed-out riverbed.
Wounding an officer and shooting 6 of his men in the
Wow,
head.
3 coyotes.
Skittish troops on the beaches and ships shot down a twin-engine plane in a wild fusillade before realizing that it was a British aircraft.
Storms wreaked havoc on these roads. This shows just how thin the asphalt is on these roads in Baja. I would have liked to have seen the storm water racing down this valley towards the Bay of LA.
Had taught them how to surrender better than how to fight. One of the first
Look at how narrow it got here.
is that no matter how large the force engaged, every battle is made up of small actions obtained from the southwest. The night was not a
We topped off our fuel tank in the Bay of LA and then set our course north to our friend's house in Socorro for our last evening in Baja. Baja was just beautiful this October.